Hello and welcome to another episode of Cascadia Mountain Weather. It's Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. My name is Kyle McCrone. Wyatt is a little busy this week, but I'm going to just deliver the good news. We got a lot of snow on the way, starting probably Saturday in the North Cascades and Sunday. And next week looks to be a wild week with some impressive snowfall totals. We're seeing anywhere from 50 to 80 inches at certain locations in the mountains. So this will not only be the snowiest week of the winter so far, it's definitely going to be one of the snowier weeks that we've seen in many years. So it's really exciting. These different loops show the current weather pattern that we're in. And you'll notice up here, we're going to start to see in the next few days a bunch of these troughs swinging in from the Gulf of Alaska. And this brings really like cold but moist northwest flow. And that's what is really a great snowfall maker for the Cascades and the Olympics, even down sometimes to the lower elevations. So this weather pattern that we're entering for the next week at least looks really favorable for snowfall. This is where we stand with like current snowpack. Most areas in the North Cascades are around 50%. As you go to the Southern Cascades, a little bit more, east side a little bit more, and the Olympics are worse. But we definitely expect this to change a lot in the next week. Before we get into like the snowfall forecast, we're going to look at the next few days. So Friday is going to be a really beautiful day in the mountains. Pretty warm. The days are getting longer, the sun's getting stronger. So even though we're seeing like pretty cold overnight temperatures with clear skies, we expect temperatures to warm into the 40s at Snoqualmie Pass. And in the sun, it might even feel warmer. So Friday's going to be a beautiful day to get out. It's definitely going to be the last opportunity to get high into the Alpine for a while. And probably access is really good in terms of being able to drive up roads, especially on the west side of the Cascades. That's going to all change with the big storms coming. So, if you're looking to get out, do some snowshoeing, some winter mountaineering, tomorrow is a good day to do that. Saturday, it's going to start transitioning, especially up north. We're going to start seeing some snowfall, maybe less in the south. You might be able to see the sun a little bit in the Southern Cascades and towards Oregon. But by Sunday, it's really going to pick up, get really stormy, windy, heavy snowfall, maybe rain at certain elevations. We'll see how freezing levels shake out. And long-term, more snow. This is looking at cloud cover. So Friday is going to be generally a really nice day to be out. Probably some lower elevation fog, but in the mountains, very clear. Now, as we transition to Saturday, notice that the northern half of the Cascades, basically north of Snoqualmie Pass, is probably going to be pretty cloudy and starting to see precipitation up north too. If you're looking for, a little more clarity, maybe, south towards St. Helens, Crystal, stuff like that. But, afternoon, definitely going to see clouds being rolling in, covering most of the Cascades and the Western Cascades. And then by Sunday, it's just all going to be storming. This is precipitation. So, Friday's dry. Saturday morning, we start to see some precipitation moving into the North Cascades. It's probably not super heavy. Maybe we see a few inches, 6 to 8 inches at most of snowfall during the day on Saturday. And then by Sunday, the snow is spreading over all the Cascades and becoming pretty heavy. This shows the freezing levels in like snowfall and precipitation in the Snoqualmie drainage. I'm not sure actually like what elevation this is for like representing rain and snowfall, but the key thing is to look at freezing levels. So we're probably looking at 3,000 to 4,000 foot freezing levels on Saturday into Sunday. Tend to think probably the pass will stay mostly snow, hopefully on Sunday, but at some point the freezing levels are going to crash probably Sunday night down towards sea level. So we might even see some snow Monday morning in the higher foothills. So then through the early part of the week, snow levels are going to be quite low. And then there's less model agreement. Maybe they come back up a little bit in the long term and probably a heavier storm towards the second half of the week. This is the Nooksack drainage shown near Mount Baker, also west side of the Cascades. The main difference here, similar freezing levels, is that the precipitation starts earlier. So more precipitation on Saturday versus Snoqualmie Pass. Most of the precipitation holds off till Sunday. Okay, so let's get to snowfall now. So this is the 24-hour snowfall. So it's like the snow that has fallen in the period in like the last 24 hours for like different time frames. So through Friday, we're not seeing much. Still Saturday, let's look at this is like Sunday morning essentially, or like middle of the night. We're seeing like 3, maybe 5 inches up in the Baker area. But by the time we get to Monday morning, we're seeing 20 inches in the last 24 hours up near Baker, 8 at Snoqualmie, probably, more at higher elevations at the pass. So it's really starting to get going. Tuesday morning, the snow is shifting a little bit more to the central Cascades and the southern Cascades versus the North Cascades. And still, 24-hour period, seeing another 17 inches, 6 inches at the pass, starting to see those foothills and snow approaching the sea level in different areas. So big snowfall there. And potentially later next week, Wednesday, look at this, Wednesday, 28 inches in a 24-hour period, 16 inches at Snoqualmie. This is really exciting to see 28 inches in a 24-hour period, and it seems to be kind of hinting at the southern Cascades through that time period. So we'll see how this all plays out, but definitely some serious snowfall coming. Now we'll take a look. Let's just let this run. This is accumulated snowfall via a 10-to-1 ratio. So 1 inch of rain equals 10 inches of snow. So let's pause this right here. So by Wednesday, they're saying they're going for 15 at Snoqualmie and, 30 plus inches in a lot of places. This is the second storm later in the week could be the bigger producer. Okay, so now we're at Saturday. So by next Saturday, they're going for 50 inches at Snoqualmie Pass, 70 maybe at Stevens, 80, 70, 80 at Crystal. So this could be an incredible snowmaking week and really help us catch up. It's definitely like those storms in the second half of the week that seem even more powerful than the initial storm. So as we get closer, keep an eye on that, see how it plays out. We can also just let it run the whole way. See where it ends up. Yeah. Okay. So this is the plumes that's showing like the different range, like the different spread of the ensemble members. And it kind of shows that there's like some uncertainty, right? So this is Snoqualmie Pass, and it's different ensemble members. And generally, we're not seeing much precipitation till Sunday. Or accumulation of snowfall. I mean, precipitation starts more like on Saturday, but that's going to be more rain initially for Snoqualmie Pass. And then we start seeing a sharp increase Saturday into Monday. Hopefully we're seeing at least a foot by Monday. And that's where we start to see more divergence. So by the end of the week, the mean is going for like 30 inches of snow at Snoqualmie, and probably significantly more, 1,000 to 2,000 feet above the pass. But we have a range from 50 inches to 15 inches. So we could see a pretty big discrepancy there. This is Crystal, I think. And it's similar here, a little bit higher snowfall amounts. The mean's going for more like 50, and we're seeing a range of 80 to 20. Notice that the precipitation mean is 4 inches for Crystal. And it's the same thing for Snoqualmie. So this merely reflects a higher elevation, 5,000 feet, and more of that precipitation falling as snow, and probably like a higher snow water ratio. This is Baker. So at 4,200 feet, and notice a little more precipitation through the next week. They're going for 6 inches and the mean of 60 inches of snowfall, and a little tighter band here, 40 to 80 inches. So still a huge spread, but if we get that 60 to 80 inches in a week, that would be incredible. Okay, so currently the avalanche danger is moderate, trending to low in a lot of places, but this is definitely the calm before the storm. I think that, that reflects that we've had relatively quiet weather week. NWAC is highlighting, look out for, small, wet, loose avalanches the next few days. I think that tomorrow is definitely the best day to get out in the mountains. I think that like higher elevation north aspects could still hold good snow, but definitely going to see a lot of warming on different aspects. One thing I just wanted to call out is there's still like considerable layering in the snowpack, maybe more than we typically see because it's been a shallower snowpack and there's a lot of crust. There's a lot of different layers. And right now NWAC's not too concerned about it, but throw another like 4 feet of snow on that. who knows, we might start getting a more reactive layer down there. And that's just something definitely to pay attention to. I know people will be really excited seeing all that fresh snow, but you got to keep in mind that a lot of fresh snow can also bring avalanches. So keep your eye on NWAC. I'm sure the forecasters are going to do a great job, and we're going to see the forecast change a lot over the next few days. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, covers the first week of March. We're still looking at, below average temperature all throughout the West Coast, and probably a little bit above average precipitation. So hopefully this continues. Finally, I'd like to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters and also showcase a little bit what we have to offer in our Patreon program. So for $5 a month, you can get access to exclusive weather recreation recommendations. We put these out every Thursday night just with the video, and we give more details about, which days we think will be good to get out, which activities, what zones to look at, what kind of terrain. So, if you're looking to get out backcountry skiing or ice climbing or winter mountaineering, all these different backcountry activities, we use our expertise to try to help you make the most of the conditions that you have. So if that interests you, I encourage you to look at our Patreon. You can get to it with cascadiamountainweather.com. That'll redirect to this page. And we also will put the link in our show notes. Anyway, so we're staged for a really good series of storms. Hopefully it produces and stay checked in. And hopefully next week we can show a very different snowtail map, much improved. We hope you enjoy the storms and stay safe out there.